Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, you're welcome. My name is Anita Fon, and if you haven't subscribed, kindly subscribe, hit the notification bell to get notified each and every time I upload a new tutorial to my channel. If you're a old member, you are welcome back. Thank you for coming back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you on how to draft this pattern. In my next tutorial, we're going to be sewing it together. So if you want to know how I'll be going about it, keep on watching. First thing I did was to go ahead and draw two lines, vertical and horizontal. Then after doing so, I went in by 1 inch. That's because I want to draft the back and the front pattern together. After doing so, I'll go ahead to take my soldier measurement, which is 14. 14 divided by 2 will give me 7. I will mark that up. Then I'm going to slant it down by 1 inch for the soldier slant. Next thing I'm going to do is to move down to my armhole deep, which is 7.5. This 7 inch I use here, I'm going to mark it up here. Then I'll go ahead to connect it up like this. Then I'll also do the same thing here, like so. I'll go ahead to mark the neck deep and the neck width of 3 by 3 inch. I will connect it up and connect the soldier slant as well. This is the neck deep of the front, okay? Then I'm going to measure up whatever I have here and divide it by 2, which is 7.5 divided by 2 will give me 3.075. I'm going to go in by 3/4 inch. Then I'll put 1/4 of my bust, which is 34. 34 divided by 4 will give me 8.5 inch. I will connect it up. If you don't have a French cap, go ahead to use your free hand. Then I will connect the back armhole as well. That's from the midpoint, just like this. If you check here, you see that the front armhole is more deeper than the back armhole. Next thing I will do now is to go ahead to measure from the soldier to my bust point, which is 10 inch. From soldier to my under bust, which is 14 inch. From soldier to the length. I will mark 18.5 inch, okay? I'll be using 1/2 inch to join it to my skirt. Then I'll go ahead to connect it up like this. After doing so, I'll go ahead to level it up, the chest line, the bust point line, the under bust line, and the length. Now what I will do is to go ahead, take my nipple to nipple measurement, which is 8 inch. 8 divided by 2 will give me 4. I will mark that up and connect it with a straight line. Just like this. Then I'm going to come here to my bust point line. I'll go down by 3/4 inch. You can go down up to 1 inch, it's fine. Then I'll create my dark. I'm going to come here, I'll mark a dark of 3/4 inch. Then at this side, I'm going to go in with a dark of 1 inch. I'll do the same thing here and here as well. After doing so, I'm going to go ahead to connect that up. I'll connect to that 3/4 inch and went down from the bust point, like so. I'll go up for my bust point line by 1.5 inch. You can go up by 2 inch or even more. Then I'll connect it up all the way to that 1.5 inch. For my bust point line, I'm going to go up by 3/4 inch. If you want, you can connect it all the way to your bust point line, okay? But me, I'll be going up by 3/4 inch. Then I'll connect my dark of 3/4 inch and 3/4 inch and connect it up like so. I'm gonna do the same thing here. Then I'll connect it to my all the way to the bust point line. I'll do the same thing here like this. After doing so, the next thing I want to do is to go ahead now. I will come down here by 3/4 inch, you know, because this is a strapless top. Just connect it up like that. Then I'll just go ahead connect that point up like this. You see what I just did here? After doing so, I'll go ahead to blend it up. Now I'm going to go ahead to put my measurement. Here I'll come on the waist and put 1/4 of my waist. Round my waist is 27. 27 divided by 4 will give me 6.5. Then I'll be adding back the dart allowance. I'll add my sewing allowance. I'll come here to my underbust. I'll put 1/4 of my underbust. Round my underbust is 29. 29 divided by 4 will give me 7.025. I will mark that up. I'm going to replace back the dart allowance. Then I'll add my 1 inch of sewing allowance. I'll do the same thing to my bust. Round my bust is 34. 34 divided by 4 will give me 8.5. I'll mark that up. Then I'll replace by the dart allowance. Then I'll add my sewing 1 inch of sewing allowance. I will connect that up and cut it up. You see what I just did here? Then I'm going to connect these points up. Level them up before cutting it up. I'll just number it 1 and 2. I will cut this downer part, then I'll cut the armhole of the back. Then I'm going to remove the back pattern, okay? Remove the back pattern first. Then I'll go ahead now to cut out that zipper allowance for the front because we don't need it for the front. See the way I just cut it? Then I'm going to chop the armhole of the front off. This is the back pattern, as you can see. Okay, this is what I'm going to do. First of all, I'm going to mark up my zipper allowance of 1 inch and connect that up. After doing so, I'll go ahead to put my nipple to nipple measurement, which is 8 divided by 2 will give me 4. I'm creating my dart of 3/4 inch and 3/4 inch and connect it up like this. After doing so, I'll go ahead now to put 1/4 of my waist like we did for the front, okay? Add up my dart allowance. Then I'll do the same thing here. I'll put 1/4 of my bust, then plus the dart allowance. Remember that the front we did add some allowance, so we're going to be modifying this up. We don't really need all those allowance for the back. After doing so, you are going to come here. If you want it to be slant, you can just go here like this and slant it down from the center front. Then I'll measure up whatever I have here, which is 8.5. Then I'm going to go in by 1/2 inch and connect this up. I'll do the same thing here. After doing so, I'll just go ahead to level it up 3 and 4. The 4 should be the center back, and then the 3 should be the side back. I hope you understand. Then I'll go ahead to cut that up. I'll be using this pattern to cut on my fabric. Remember, I've already added all my allowance. I'll just go ahead and pin them up and cut it. I'll go ahead and fold in my fabric into two for the skirt. Then I'll mark 1/2 inch just like this and connect that line up. Then I'm still going to go ahead. I'll be adding up 1/2 inch that I'll be using to join it to the I'll be using this 1/2 inch to join the skirt to the top. I will connect that up. Then I'm going to measure from the waist to my hip dip, which is 8 inch, and mark. Then what we want to do now is to go ahead and just connect that up. I'll just come here, I'll put 1/4 of my waist, which is 27 divided by 4 will give me 6.5. Then I'll come here on my hip line. I'm going to put 1/4 of my hip, which is 36 divided by 4 will give me 9 inch. I'll be adding my 1 inch for the allowance, 1 inch for the dart. To add the length, I'll go ahead to minus 11.5 inch. I will mark it up. I'm going with a length of 42 inch. Mark that up and connect it up. After connecting, I will pull it up to the top. Okay. I will take 1/4 of my hip, which was 9 inch. I added 1 inch for the allowance and then 1 inch for the dart allowance. I'll minus 1 inch from there. Then I'm going to connect it up. Why did I have to minus 1 inch? That's because the downer part is going to be a pencil skirt, okay? Then I'll mark and connect that up. Then for the front, what I'm going to do is, remember the 1/2 inch we went down. I'm just going to go ahead and connect it up like this and slant it up. You're going to slant it up, then you cut that up, okay? Because you know the human shape is not straight. I'll go ahead to put the nipple to nipple measurement, which is 8 inch. 8 divided by 2 will give me 4. I'm going to go down by 5.5 inch. Then I'll be creating my dark of 1/2 inch and 1/2 inch. I'll connect that up. I'll be using this front to cut the back, but I'll be adding 1 inch for the back for the zipper allowance like we did for the top. Then after doing so, I'll just go ahead and cut and separate the back. I hope you find this tutorial helpful. See you on the sewing DIY coming up very soon. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.